What's going on, guys? This is JT here. Welcome back to Hero Spotlight. In today's episode, we're going to be bringing you LAZULIX. I absolutely love LAZULIX, no doubt about that. So let's go ahead and get right into his skill. We're going to be reading this out at level 13. We got Frozen State. Hero summons an ice shield that grants immunity to attack damage and reflected damage. So even if people are running Blade Shell or Flame Guard, he does not take in any damage. Literally impossible to kill unless it's a glitch. I have run into some glitch where LAZULIX has died during proc, which I did upload some of those videos. We also got Hero also deals 380% attack damage to nearby enemy targets every 0.5 seconds for 5 seconds. Which is absolutely insane, and freezes them for 2 seconds every 0.5 seconds for 5 seconds. That ability comes in handy. Very, very, very good, especially in Lost Battlefield, and also good for attacking just buildings, clearing up a lot of space for raids. I mean, either Guild Wars or just Blitz Gauntlet, whatever you're using him for in raids. We got the cooldown is 7 seconds. This hero is immune to silence and conditions from calamity. When Ice Shield is in effect, the hero cannot move, attack, trigger skills, or nor obtain boost conditions granted by other units, which does kind of stink. So let's say like Michael procs or Walla procs, he doesn't gain that additional attack bonus. He just sits there in his little ball, but he is immune and can't take in any damage. All right, so let's go over the top talents for LAZULIX. Coming in the number 1 spot is going to be Revitalize. I absolutely love Revitalize on LAZULIX. The reasons why is because you want LAZULIX to proc and you want him to proc right away. That's mainly what you're using him for, right? You don't use him for any damage. His damage is absolutely terrible. So having that Revitalize on him, he's not auto proc, but as soon as he hits a building or hero, he's going to proc right away, then start freezing other heroes to keep them held in place for 5 seconds, which is very nice. But not only that, he does an insane amount of damage to buildings. A lot of the times on my free-to-play, whenever I use LAZULIX in battle, what I'll do is I'll set 5 heroes in one spot of the map, let them take on the damage, and then once the aggro's focused on those heroes, then put LAZULIX somewhere else on the map, and boom, you'll notice he'll take out like 40, 50, maybe even 60% of the base in buildings just on his own with his proc, which is absolutely insane. Plus, in Lost Battlefield, Revitalize helps out a ton because he gets that proc off right away. Really helps when LAZULIX is in your team for Lost Battlefield because makes it a lot easier to kill, let's say, Dovekeeper or Levanica because they only take in a certain amount of damage. So not only are you freezing those 2 heroes, you're also getting the damage from the freeze proc as well because that does do damage. And it doesn't really work for Zafirka because he's immune to freeze, which is unfortunate, but does help out a ton for Dovekeeper and also Levanica, like I was saying. So coming in the number 2 spot are just going to be some defensive talents, but mainly I do like to run Revitalize. If you have a choice, go with Revitalize on your LAZULIX. You will not regret it, and put it as the main talent as well because a level 10 Revitalize is going to be better than, let's say, like running Revive because I really love Revive as an insignia. We'll get into that in a little bit. So coming in the number 2 spot is going to be Sacred Light. Like I said, just a little bit more defense, build up his HP, also reduce the amount of damage he takes. Coming in the number 3 spot is going to be Zealous Drive. For the same reason, increase the amount of damage he does, which like I said, doesn't really matter that much, but it does give him +1 range, which can be pretty clutch for LAZULIX, especially if you're using him in Lost Battlefield. If your LAZULIX procs before, let's say, the other team's LAZULIX procs, well, guess what? All their heroes are frozen, and your heroes are now just swacking away at them and owning them up, right? So Zealous Drive can come in clutch. Coming in the 4th spot is going to be Tenacity. Just the basic thing, kind of like the same thing as Sacred Light. Instead of reducing damage, you're just giving him more HP. So Tenacity can fit with LAZULIX. And coming in last but not least is going to be Vital Boon. Right here, Vital Boon is okay. Not only does it raise his HP, but it also has a chance to remove 3 nearby enemies' buffs, which could come in the clutch as well. Alright, so let's get into the top insignias for LAZULIX. In my opinion, all the talents I just mentioned can be used as an insignia as well. Now, the one insignia I did not mention or main talent is Revive. The reason why I don't like to put Revive as a main talent on LAZULIX and as an insignia is just because, honestly, At this point, they just came out with new level 10 talents, and a level 10 revive is absolutely useless, right? What do? You revive with 100% HP instead of 70%. Well, if you guys don't know this, when heroes revive in Castle Clash, they actually revive with 5 of 5 Revitalize as well. So when your hero revives, boom, if they hit something, it instantly procs, right? So there's really no reason to have a level 10 revive on LAZULIX because that 70% HP might as well be 100% HP because the second he revives, he's gonna proc and then gain all his HP back, right? So what I like to do is run revive only as a trait on LAZULIX. No matter what main talent you run on LAZULIX, you're probably going to find yourself running revive just because you want him there. Like, his main thing is to freeze, right? So if you have him coming up 3 different times in one battle, he's going to be freezing a lot more, whereas if he gets focused with a different trait or talent on him, he's just going to instantly die and then he's just going to be out of the fight, right? So yeah, go with revive as the main insignia for LAZULIX. Like I said, if you don't have revive, you're welcome to put any of those talents I mentioned. I wanted to quickly bring up Lazu's Destiny as well because honestly, in my opinion, Lazu's Destiny is very, very, very important, and here's why. If you notice the frozen state at level 10, it only freezes targets for 1 second. So it reads right here, it hits nearby targets every 0.5 seconds for 5 seconds and freezes them for 1 second every 0.5 seconds for 5 seconds. So if you get this to level 12, just look at the difference. So now we got attacks nearby enemy targets every 0.5 seconds for 5 seconds and freezes them for 2 seconds instead of 1. And trust me, obviously a freeze for a whole additional second means a lot. So if you have the ability, definitely get LAZULIX Destiny up to level 12. Going to be way more important than, let's say, any other hero that just raises up the damage a little bit or life a little bit, right? You want to get the Destiny used for heroes that have abilities like this that can freeze for an additional second, which means a lot, especially in a lost battlefield fight, right? Alright, so let's talk about some pets for LAZULIX. I really like YULEPHANT for LAZULIX. Well, why do I like YULEPHANT? Well, for one, it gives LAZULIX a shield when his HP gets low, which is very helpful. Whenever you throw LAZULIX into battle, you might have some type of towers or whatever dishing out a little bit of damage, maybe a Dovekeeper, maybe a Walla proc. So that extra shield does help, but not only does it give him a shield, it also increases his dodge by 30%. Which is a ton, right? Because the more dodge you have on LAZULIX, obviously, the more misses that come through, which is very helpful. So coming in the number 2 spot, or the last spot, I only like to go really with these 2 pets on LAZULIX. It is REAPSTER. Why do I like REAPSTER so much? Well, REAPSTER doesn't really have a spot in, like, when it comes down to pets, I don't really put REAPSTER on that many heroes, right? LAZULIX is one of those heroes because I'm always running a level 9, at least a level 9 revive on LAZULIX because he revives 3 times. Well, guess what? Each time LAZULIX dies, you have another REAPSTER in battle. So if LAZULIX, let's say, dies 3 times back to back to back, kind of like Anubis, you'll get 3 REAPSTERs out on the battlefield, which can help in certain situations, let's say in Lost Battlefield, because they're just constantly with, what is it? It's level 7 scatter. So each one has level 7 scatter, right? So if you have LAZULIX dying 3 times, you got 3 REAPSTER ups in Lost Battlefield, you're going to be dishing out some serious energy drain, no doubt about that, with 3 REAPSTERs at level 7 scatter. Alright, let's go over the top enchantments for LAZULIX. In my opinion, you really should just go with defensive enchantments. So coming in the number 1 spot is going to be Holy Conviction. Why? Because, yeah, it does increase the healing, which doesn't really matter all that much, but mainly reduces the damage received by 40%. That is an absolute ton, and it just keeps LAZULIX alive a lot longer. Coming in the number 2 spot is going to be Burning Plate, because Burning Plate increases the max HP by 25%, but not only that, it also dishes out damage to, let's just say, buildings is what I'm going to use it for, because the damage on actual heroes isn't really all that much. Not in LAZULIX's case anyway, so you're really just using it for the HP buff of 25%. Coming in the number 3 spot, I'm going to go with MALAISE. I really like MALAISE a lot, especially for Lost Battlefield when you run into those Dovekeepers, those Levanicas, those people that put healing pets or just healing type of skills or enchantment talents or everything in this game. There's so many different ways to heal heroes. MALAISE does come in the clutch, especially if they can no longer heal. You got that constant damage coming out from LAZULIX. It does fit in really well, especially for Lost Battlefield, like I was saying, and can work also in normal raids or guild wars as well if you're just trying to kill heroes, but not really that many people do that this day and age. And coming in the last but not least spot for LAZULIX as far as enchantments go is going to be Forest Ward. I decided to pick Forest Ward because Forest Ward doesn't really have a home on any other hero in this game, basically. Maybe besides like Sasquatch. There's a couple heroes you can find a home for it, but not really that good of an enchantment talent. Does fit in pretty well with LAZULIX, but like I said, I wouldn't really count on it all that much. It's just a simple heal for LAZULIX. I much rather would go with any of the top 3 talents as my best choices, no doubt about that. Forest Ward is like, if it's like crying, just like, put me somewhere, then you just put Forest Ward on there. But like I said, it's normally just an enchantment talent you want to just simply roll over because it's pretty bad. Alright, so let's get into some traits for LAZULIX. Like I said, you want to build him defensive. So, of course, what are the defensive traits? It's going to be dodge and HP. Haven't even activated the traits on my main account, but of course there's no dodge and no HP. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be stacking mainly HP on my LAZULIX just because I already have 3 5-star HPs, but you can go with either dodge or HP, whichever one comes easier. With this day and time of Castle Clash, though, you kind of got to choose one or the other. So I would really go with whichever one you roll the most of first, because if not, it can get really expensive rolling traits. Anyway, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the hero spotlight video. Make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below telling me which hero you want to see next, and we will make that happen. Anyway, guys, I am out of here for now. Peace out, fellas.
Wow, that's a really strong river. JT, I bet you'd get more subscribers if you swam across this river.
Really? Dude, these are the strongest rapids in New Hampshire, but I'll do anything for my subscribers. Oh boy! Oh! I'm sinking faster than Castle Clash's free-to-play player base! Oh my god! Oh! There's a succubus under here! Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe!